Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin, and this is the important part, my coffee. Mm, that is good, and I hope you have a nice cup of coffee here with you, or a cup of tea, or a cup of whatever you're drinking this morning. I wish you an incredible day and what a way to start the day is with me. All right. I keep on looking down. I'm looking down at my picture, so I apologize for that. Today is November 18th. November 18th. Halfway through the month, 1 month left to go of 2025. Soon 2025 is going to be in the past. It's going to be 2026. And I hope you're starting to think about what 2026 is going to look like. You can start to amass and summarize what 2025 was like for you and what went right and what went wrong. Maybe see how you can correct what might have went wrong and see how you can intensify what went right. We'll talk more about that as we're getting into um, the end of the year. That's awesome. I can't believe it. Here we are getting to the end of the year. And on this day, November 18th, there wasn't too much in history to talk about. A couple little things. In 1940, Hitler got really pissed off that Italy, its ally, failed in Greece and stuff like that. There was a couple small things, but it's National Day today. I want to talk about more so, and it's National Vichy Soise Day. If you like cold soup, celebrate! Yeah, but it's also National. Let's see. I'll step out of the way now. It's National Princess Day. Yes, it's National Princess Day. If you've got a princess in your life, and I've got several, starting off with my daughter. My daughter's my princess, and I've got some nieces, and I've got some friends and daughters that have been princesses in the times that I've spent with them. It's great for National Princess Day. So you can celebrate, and you can celebrate with that soup as well. Let's see, there was one other day. It was a national day, and I can't remember. It might have been another food. Species was, it's Mickey Mouse's birthday. It's Mickey Mouse's birthday. Mickey birthday now. Don't ask me how old he is. I just know that November 18th is when he was created, when he was born and came to all of us. So, yeah, today I want to talk about something. Yeah, I only thought about it as I was getting ready this morning, and I usually think about what themes I want to have over the weekend and leading up to this day. And I hadn't given much thought. I had a couple of ideas, and all of a sudden it came to me: empowerment, feeling empowered. I was trying to look at the different feelings, and I often do this, that I go through and how I get to where I am. And feeling empowered is a very, very important feeling. And it doesn't have to come naturally with whatever you're doing in the moment. It's something that you actually can create. It's something actually you can control. Not many people realize that. Not many people realize that. So let's talk about that, because I'd like you to feel empowered today. I'd like you to start feeling empowered from this day on, if you haven't been, or if you haven't been able to really cause it for yourself. So let's talk about that. And as we usually do, we'll go with our quotes. Okay. Carl Jung, as opposed to Carl Old. No, Carl Jung is a very famous person in psychology, a how we say, a student of boy. I'm not empowered to remember Freud, a student of Freud. All right. It says, I am not what happened to me, which means none of the external stuff. I am what I choose to become. This is truly an empowering statement saying that, hey, I know that I've been impacted by lots of other stuff I had no control over. But I also know I have control over where I go from now. And it's mostly you have control over how you react. Some people react when an external thing happens to them, it puts them down, crushes their soul or whatever. Some people react to stay in there and say, oh, me, oh, pity me, please, because look what happened to me. They play the Job part. If you remember right, Job finally comes to his senses and say, this is me. Um, I'm not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. So choose to become that person you want to become. The power to change your life lies in the moment of making a decision. That's right. When you make a decision, it is you making a decision. It's you in control. It's you in control. So when you make those decisions, when you decide to feel one way or the other, remember it is your decision. When you decide to let something get you down, when you decide to let something hurt you, when you decide to let something keep on nagging at you, it is your decision. And he is a wonderful, wonderful author, poet of our time. If you're always trying to be normal, and when the moment I saw that, I said I have to use it. If you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Basically, if you're always trying to fit in, do what everybody else does, you're not going to know your true self. And that's the easy escape. Let's just do what everybody else does. Let's try to feel like they do. Let's ignore our internal instincts. Let's ignore our wants and desires to be ourselves. And let's be like everybody else. In a way, it's imposter syndrome. In a way. Um, so, what does this have to do with empowerment? When you actually decide to be yourself, you're empowering yourself. When you're actually doing something that comes normally and creatively from you where you wouldn't normally, you are being empowered. You're being empowered to be yourself. Do things for people not because of who they are or what they do in return, but because of who you are. Do things. Wow, this is not the one. I'm looking at one, reading another. Isn't that incredible? Here it is. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. This is I first learned this from Ziegler. He says without your permission. And this is true. If people are putting you down, no one can make you feel inferior without your permission, without your consent. Meaning if you let them feel let them make you feel bad about yourself, you've given them permission. You've given them control. You take control and say, hey, no, they're not right. I know that I'm not that. That's what you do. It might take you a minute, but realize you have the decision to, you can feel like they're making you feel, or you feel like you want to feel. The one thing that's always bothered me is when I hear someone say, oh, they just ruined my whole day. They made me feel so bad. They made me. What did they do? Tie you up and torture you and say you're gonna feel bad? No. All they did is say something to you. There's that old kid saying, which is very true to this. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Unfortunately, we let a lot of words hurt us. We let a lot of words hurt us. We give people permission to hurt us that way. Okay. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another road. Dolly Parton, I couldn't believe this was from Dolly Parton. One of the earlier, one of the earliest personal development books I first read was The Road Less Traveled. And it was all about being yourself. It was all about not wanting to be like everybody else, the normal. It was all about doing what you want to do. The road less traveled. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. This is taking control. This is empowering yourself, feeling empowered, taking control. Start paving another path. Yes, that is the true self. I want you to start as of today. I want you to start realizing when you make decisions, you are making the decision, not anybody else. Not anybody else is forcing you to do something you don't want to do. Now, if someone suggests to do something and you think it makes sense, do it. You're, you're still being empowered because you're thinking it makes sense. You're running it through your processes. You're making sure it's good. You're making sure you feel good about it. But if someone tells you to do something you don't want to do it, but you do it because they are, I don't know, they're someone you look up to, they're someone you should trust or whatever, but you don't feel like doing it. What you're doing is you're giving their power to them. If you've been manipulated all your life by a partner, by a spouse, you've given your control to them. You can talk about people being controlling, but you can also talk about how you're not allowing people to control you because you can make those decisions. And I want you to start making those decisions today if you haven't been. All right. Make this week a week where you're in control, where you're empowered. Maybe you're paving a new path. Maybe, just maybe, you're doing amazing things on your own without trying to be like others. Until next week, I will talk to you later, but you know what? I wish for you an incredibly fantastic week. Maybe the words have sunk in here and you're going to have one, but you know for sure that it is you that's in control of making it a fantastic week. As I've always said, take care now. Bye. If I can figure out how to end this, because I believe I'm not, I believe I'm live. Yes.